Hello, welcome back to Top 5 Tuesdays. There's a little bit of a break last week because I wasn't feeling too good and I had a video ready to go up anyway, so it was alright in the end, I guess, and I don't think anyone really cares about the fact that I've got a video set to go on almost every day of the week, but I care about it, so I want to explain the absence of a Top 5 video last week. I love doing them, and as always, if you have suggestions for future Top 5 videos, leave them in the comments down below. Let's get right on with this one, which is Top 5 Steven Spielberg films. I'm a huge Spielberg fan. I think pretty much anyone in the world can say that because he's made at least a few films that they love. Just an amazing director. I don't think he gets enough credit because he is so mainstream in a way, and people tend to go for like the more kind of, you know, artistic directors. But I think he's awesome. Wouldn't put him up there on my top 5 favorite directors or anything like that. Maybe not even top 10. But I do love his films, and this would be my top 5 favorites. Number 5. Catch Me If You Can. This is a film not many people would put in their top 5 list, I bet, but I love this film. I think it's awesome. I saw it when it came out in the cinema. Leonardo DiCaprio is great in it. He plays a guy who basically forges his way through life, and it's a true story of this man who... It's this incredible story where he basically became an expert at forging checks and getting money and basically pretending to be people, pretending to be the pilot and a doctor and all this stuff. And it's a great film, and Tom Hanks plays the kind of the detective who's on his trail. And it's a brilliant film. Christopher Walken was also in it, and he's awesome. I loved Christopher Walken in that film. To the moon, you know. He's just I love Walken in general, but he's particularly great in that film, I thought. And yeah, I just love the film. It was such a... You know, you feel like you're going along with, I forget the character's name now, or the real man's name, I guess, because it's a true life story, but you just feel like you're him. He's this young kid who's just literally just going out there and just doing the craziest stuff, you know, and lying and cheating and stealing, but you kind of live vicariously through him in a way, and it's kind of fun to watch, I think. Yeah, really love that film. Underrated, I think. Number 4. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Now, I hadn't seen this until last year. 2014. It took me over 30 years from when the film was released to actually see it. Even though I wasn't around when it came out, but you know, it's just, it's criminal, it really is. When I was a kid, I was just Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, and you know, there was Raiders of the Lost Ark on video. I had it on video. I had the whole series on VHS. Or my stepdad did, I should say. I didn't. They weren't mine, but I could have watched them anytime I wanted. And I watched a bit of some of them, but I just never got into them. I was like, nope, back to Star Wars. So I really missed out as a kid, and I watched all of them last year, and they were amazing. I love all of them. All of them. I love all of them. But this one, The Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade for me are pretty much tied as just two of the best adventure films ever made. And I have to give the slight edge to the first film, though it's really hard for me to decide. With most franchises, you know, Star Wars, I can rank them. Harry Potter, I can rank them. Lord of the Rings, I can rank them. I can rank pretty much anything. But the Indiana Jones films, it's really hard for me to decide which is better, Raiders of the Lost Ark or The Last Crusade. And maybe they're just as good as each other. But either way, and I love Temple of Doom, but I got to go with the first one, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Amazing adventure film. You know, Harrison Ford, perfect as Indiana Jones. I hope they don't do another film. They're going to reboot it. It's inevitable, but I just don't want to see Chris Pratt kind of, you know, dancing around a jungle with a leather jacket and a fedora and a whip going, dance off, bro. You know, it's going to be terrible. But the original is amazing. I mean, just from the very opening sequence, which is just so iconic, and then the rest of the film, it's just such a sprawling epic adventure. And you know, not only is Harrison Ford great as Indiana Jones, you got Karen Allen who plays wait, is that the actress's name or the character's name? I really don't know. But she's in the first one, she's in the fourth one. Either way, the actress, the character, you know, the main female role in the film, she's awesome. You know, there's great characters all across the board. It's a great adventure. It's just awesome. Number 3. And this was one I wasn't sure where to put, either at number 3 or number 2. E.T. Extraterrestrial. Loved this as a kid. Hadn't seen it in maybe 15 years. Watched it again last year and was like, yeah, this is just amazing. Just a fantastic film, you know, and it's funny how E.T. and Poltergeist kind of go hand in hand. They were both Steven Spielberg films, basically, even though Spielberg didn't direct Poltergeist, though he was very hands-on with Poltergeist, and they were both filmed in the same area, so when you watch both of them, it's like, it's really weird. It's almost as if they exist within the same town and universe. It's very strange, but E.T., it's not just the fact that it has the great emotional ending, which, you know, would pull at the heartstrings of anyone who has a heart, but the fact that it's about being a kid, you know, it's about being a kid, and I think any kid can relate to this film. And I never had, you know, brothers and sisters growing up, but I kind of still related to growing up and having, you know, other kids to kind of contend with, and in this case his brother and sister, and then maybe not being, you know, the most popular kid. I mean, that's not really touched on that much. You know, he seems fine in school and everything. It's not like he's bullied or anything, but you know, he's more, I don't know, just that whole thing of him staying home and having a secret, you know, and having his own little thing and being a little bit independent, things like that. And you know, difficulty with you know, his mother, and the fact that his father's not there. You know, that's something I heavily related to as well. So I think kids can take away a lot of things from this film. You know, whether it be from having a, you know, siblings, or whether it's the one of the parents not being there, or having a secret and, you know, having your own little thing and going out and being independent and that kind of stuff. I just think that it's so relatable on so many levels for kids, and even as an adult watching it, it just made me feel like a kid again, basically. And then you add in this supernatural sci-fi element of, you know, this alien, which could easily turn the film into a farce, could easily make it a real goofy film. But you know, it's just, it works. It somehow works with the practical effects, the way they created the, you know, the E.T., the alien, the puppet. It's just brilliant. Then you got the amazing John Williams score, which again you had in Razor Lost Ark, and will be in the next two films I talk about in this video. But for me, it's just, again, it does go back to the emotional ending as well, and how it makes you feel for this character and for Elliot as well, the kid. I just think it's a fantastic. I think it's a family movie. It's a family movie masterpiece. You know, as far as family films go, it's probably one of the best ever made. And I think no scene sums it up as well as the one I'm going to show you now. I'm going to show you a little clip. For me, this is the culmination of the whole movie. You know, it is the pinnacle of it, and what makes it so emotional for me is this scene right here. Okay, so number 2 on my top 5 Steven Spielberg films is, drumroll please, no one? Okay, well I'll just say it then. Jurassic Park! Jurassic Park. So now you know what number 1 is. You have to know what number 1 is, surely. Jurassic Park though, oh, it's just unendingly entertaining. It just never stops giving, you know? I mean, some films you have to kind of take stuff from it yourself. You have to kind of force yourself to enjoy it. This film just washes over you. It's just like, oh, it's just like, have entertainment. Here's entertainment, you know, try and dodge this entertainment, you know, you can't dodge it, it just hits you every time you watch it. The score, the characters, the effects, the story, everything. It's funny, it's exciting, it's scary. You know, look at the scene with the kids in the kitchen with the velociraptors. Oh, so tense, even though you know that they get out of it. You still feel tense when you watch that scene, at least I do every single time. And then you look at Jurassic World, and I just never had that throughout the whole film. I never felt like any of the characters were in as much jeopardy as those kids in that kitchen. And that is, again, the sign of, for me, great filmmaking. And the whole film from top to bottom, you know, fantastic actors. Jeff Goldblum, amazing. Sam Neill was great in the part. The kids were awesome. You got, oh, what's his name? The guy from Third Rock from the Sun, you know, the fat guy with the glasses, you know, I didn't say the magic word. Him, Samuel L. Jackson, even though his role's quite small, he's quite memorable as well. And then who can forget Richard Attenborough, you know, one of the greatest actors and, you know, film people ever. And he's brilliant as Hammond in the film. It's just, from top to bottom, it is a masterpiece. It's Jurassic Park. So number 1, you know, of course, you know what it is. So before we get to it, some honourable mentions. Hook. I love Hook. I know people have kind of differing opinions of it. I absolutely love it. One of my favourite films growing up. I think Robin Williams is fantastic in the film. It's just brilliant. Rufio. Colour Purple. Awesome film, a masterpiece. You know, it's just, but it is one of those films that I wouldn't watch as much. You know, just because it is a long one, it is emotionally draining. But I do think it is an amazing, incredible film that people should see. If they feel like they, you know, I don't want to watch that, it seems a bit kind of depressing or dreary and long, check it out. Really, you won't regret it. It's a brilliant film. The Lost World, the second Jurassic Park film, I love it. I know people really don't like it. I have a lot of fun with it. I think the scene with the truck over the cliff is fantastic. Such a great tense scene. Temple of Doom, you know, great. You know, all the Indiana Jones films. You know, I love The Last Crusade. Temple of Doom was so much fun. Crystal Skull, I still like it. You know, Harrison Ford's in it and he's fun in it. You know, and people try and pick that film apart, but I mean, it's just, I don't know, I feel like people got too offended by that and were looking to be offended by that. And yeah, the CGI was a bit ropey, but for me, for the most part, I still really enjoy Crystal Skull. And then Duel, one of Spielberg's first films, is a really fun little one. Now, those are the honourable mentions. I've pretty much gone through his whole filmography, but there's another list I want to give you. It's actually 1, 2, 3, well, not top 5, but the top 4 films that I need to see from Spielberg that I haven't seen. So let me know in the comments, are there any films of Steven Spielberg you haven't seen and you feel like you should see? For me, it's Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan, yeah, really haven't seen that, unbelievably. The Terminal, which isn't one of his like most critically acclaimed films, but nonetheless I really want to see it because I'm a big Tom Hanks fan. And Minority Report with Tom Cruise, haven't seen that either. So those are the 4 ones I really want to see, and I probably will at some point. But yeah. Just wanted to list all those, and now we get to number 1. Of course, it's Jaws. You know it's Jaws. What else would it be? What could it be? Amistad? No, it's Jaws. Jaws is the film for me that is just one of the best ever made. It's not personally in my like top 20 favourites or anything, but every time you watch it, you're like, ah, this is cinema. This is what films are for. Films like this. Absolutely awesome. And again, people said it before, there's no need for me to even say it. It's not even really about the shark, it's just the characters and the way they're reacting to the situation. I mean, once the film gets to the 3 guys on the boat, it is just absolutely golden from start to finish, that whole sequence, and it goes on for quite a long time as well. But the build up to it as well, and all the actors are just absolutely kill it, it's amazing, it really is. And this is a film that Spielberg made when he was, in his 20s, it's crazy, but it's just one of those things where I think it was the perfect storm. It's acclaimed as one of the best films ever made, rightfully so. If I were to list, maybe the top 50 films ever made, like the greatest films, not my favourites, the greatest, this would definitely be on there, and it should be on anyone's list of some of the greatest films of all time. And again, then you got the score from John Williams, which I guess started the whole relationship between Spielberg and John Williams, which really just made Spielberg's films even better than they were, I think, were some of John Williams' iconic scores from Indiana Jones to E.T. and Jurassic Park. But Jaws is one of the classic movie themes. And yeah, overall, Jaws, what more can you say? It's a 10 out of 10, it's a classic. It should be number 1 on anyone's list, in my opinion. And that's all I got to say about Steven Spielberg, so thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, that's about it, really, I think. Yeah, let me know what your top 5 or top 10 or top 20, whatever. Let me know all your Steven Spielberg thoughts down in the comments below. I want to see more comments. I haven't been getting that many lately, so if you're watching this video, if you gave it a thumbs up, thank you. But leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought and your thoughts on Spielberg in general. So that's it. Thank you to my Patreon supporters, including my highest pledging Patreon supporters, Jody Wood, Ryan Chataway, Vezius, and Cineram, and I'll see you with the next video.
So you might say he's a really nice guy, really, but if fucking don't cut shit with me. He says he's really cool, but I think he's a tool.